Hi, and welcome to Church of the Servant's website. I'm Matt Patrick, the Associate Pastor of Worship Arts and Hospitality here at Church of the Servant. We're so glad that you've considered joining our church family and coming to our church for the very first time, and it is my job to help you get acclimated to what it's like to be at Church of the Servant for the first time. Where to park, where to drop off your kids, all of those details I hope to cover with you in this video. There's so many things going on inside the life of the church here at Servant, and we hope that you will join us soon. So first things first, you have to choose what service that you want to go to. We have a few options here at Church of the Servant for you to consider. If you like to get out of bed early and go to church early in the morning, we do have an 8:15 chapel service that is done in more of a traditional style. It's older hymns, kind of a more traditional way of doing church, but it's a really fun group. Our largest service here at Church of the Servant is in our main sanctuary, which we also call the Celebration Center. This service is a little bit more of a traditional service as well. It has an orchestra and a choir. A lot of hymns are sung, but we do have two big nice screens in there that we can use for multimedia purposes, and there's also live preaching at that service as well. But if you're looking for a little bit of a different worship style, we also have two modern worship services. These services have a different set of music, a lot of drums, guitars, what you're maybe used to seeing in churches that only do modern worship exclusively. Both of our modern services are in the Centrum. One is at 9:30 and one is at 11 o'clock. One of the big questions that you might be asking when you visit a new church or Church of the Servant for the first time is, where should I park? What kind of parking makes sense? We actually have really great parking spaces here at Church of the Servant. We've got a nice big parking lot, and you can park at different places in the building depending on what service you're going to. If you're going to the main service at 9:30, you'll want to park in the east parking lot. That's the first parking lot that you'll see when you pull into the building off of MacArthur Boulevard. So if you parked in the east parking lot, you'll see that there's a big main entrance to the building there. There's a covered area where we do our valet parking for those who are handicapped and can't make the walk into the building, or those who are elderly and just unable to make it. So that's a service that we offer as well if you need it. When you walk into the main entrance to the building, which is on the east side, right there in the east parking lot, you'll notice that the Centrum, where our 9:30 and 11 o'clock modern services are, will be right in front of you as you walk in the door. If you turn right when you walk into the main entrance to the building, you'll notice that at the end of the hallway is where our main sanctuary is at, and that's where we hold our 9:30 celebration service, which is our largest service here at Church of the Servant. When you walk into the main entrance to the sanctuary or any of the other doors that enter the building, you'll notice that there are door greeters on the doors. They'll be wearing big name tags, and they're a part of our hospitality ministry here at Church of the Servant. They are there to help you. They're there to help you find where you can check in your kids to children's ministry. They're there to help you find out where the bathrooms are, or where you can drop your kids off for our youth ministries on Sunday morning. They're there to just help you in general. So if you have any questions when you walk into the building about where to go or where you need to be, if you ask somebody in the big hospitality name tags, they should be able to help you out. I'm really excited that you've decided to visit or are considering visiting Church of the Servant. I hope that we see you soon. There are a lot of great things that God is doing here in our church. And before we go, Matthew Mitchell, our senior pastor, has a word for you as well.
Greetings, I'm Matthew Mitchell, lead minister here at Church of the Servant. And now that you've seen a little bit about who we are and what Church of the Servant looks like, I'd love to invite you to be a part of this church family on a Sunday morning. We have services at 8:15, two of them at 9:30, and one at 11 o'clock. They're each a little bit different. Today I'm talking to you from the Chapel of the Cross, where our 8:15 service is each and every week. It's a smaller, more intimate service. Our celebration center, the big room, it's huge, it's big, it's massive, and that's a very wonderful traditional service that's different than probably what you're accustomed to. Our modern services at 9:30 and 11, they're really special as well. And I'd like to invite you again to come and experience Church of the Servant.